My name's Chris Watson. I run Endor Learn and Develop, and for the last 16 years we've focused exclusively on behaviourally based learning and development. So effectively what we look at is not what people do, but the way that they go about it. In those 16 years we've picked up some unexpected insights in terms of developing people. And sort of quite surprising ways that seem to hold up. In terms of the session route, or what's in it for you, I think there's a number of real key deliverables. I'm going to give you a preposterous tool to increase your personal productivity. So there's obviously some truth in the fact that that is finite. However, what we can manage is maybe how we respond to it. And that might be really significant as well. There are two ways that you can respond to time, okay? And you will have your own preferred way. And there's no better and no worse with this. Some of us will operate on clock time. Some of us will operate on event time. Anyone know anything about clock and event time? No? Okay, that's good. Well, you might recognise yourself in one of these. Say, for example, if you've got a day off tomorrow, and you wake up and you think, yeah, I've got a day off, you might think, right, what am I going to do with the day? So event time people might think, well, kind of, I'll do that, and I'll maybe then go there, and I might do that. Yeah? Other people might think, okay, well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go that I want to be back for 11 though, because I've got a couple of phone calls and chase that up. Then this afternoon I'll have a bit of lunch, and then early afternoon, I don't know, sort of 1:30, I'm going to go over and see that chap in Bradford, and we'll have a good old chat about things, but I've got to be back, so I've got to take my son at 5 o'clock, and then we've got the running that he's involved with. Do you tend to sort of measure activities in terms of little slots throughout the day, yeah, and little times, a little time scale that you operate in mind, or is it more varied, and you tend to sort of more, go and see what happens, and it's less fixed? And there is a little diagnostic that you can use to look at your preference between these two, and I can share that with you as well. However, the point is that actually there are consequences of this. It's been discovered that the more you are driven by clock time, the less likely you will become to take hold and grab hold of exploding opportunities, new things that arise. If that Caribbean holiday, if you're offered, it's more likely event time people are more inclined to take advantage of it than clock time, because it's much harder for them to make all the arrangements and get the time off, make it available, and because these things become a bit more wedded in their organisation structure. Does that make sense? So that's one thing about clock time and event time. What's even more interesting though is this, about how that impacts on performance, even whether you're clock or event time orientated. Anyone heard of Bikram? Hot yoga. Hideous experience for anyone that's not tried it, but essentially what you'll do, you'll be in a room probably a lot smaller than this, with a number of other sweaty bodies, in a room heated to 40 degrees, okay, and then you'll go through 2 sessions of 26 exercises, quite challenging yoga exercises or positions, and many people don't get through. So quite an interesting group study. And what they did was they made just one difference to a room full of mixed event and clock time participants. And that difference was they took out the clock in one group and they left it in the other. Okay, what do you think happened?
Clock watching that they perform better.
It is, yeah. I mean, casino mentality is this notion that the one thing you won't see in a casino is is obviously a clock, because they don't want you clock watching. But there's a more serious point to that, and that is actually by being externally referenced, yeah, it's harder for you in any type of activity or task that you're undertaking. Now that's interesting, because if anyone knows anything about HR and the development of things like Taylorism and task management and piecework and all these things that we've built conventional work practices around, says that actually you might get more from people if you remove those clocks. And what happens in this and other situations is that in the Bikram, the hot yoga, people have about 30% longer in terms of the series of postures and exercises than they do if they've got a clock. And it's to do with thinking about, and beyond tonight as well, are you internally or externally referenced? And it is better for you, in terms of performance, to be internally referenced rather than externally referenced. Also, just to remember as well that it didn't matter whether or not you were a clock or an event time person to start with. The effect was the same. And they swapped the groups over as well, and the same results were reached. Many thanks for today. I do have, as you'd expect on something like this, some glorious, lovely copies of, highly discounted following the CMI's support, of Upskill, and I've certainly enjoyed spending an hour and a half with you all, and thanks for your contributions.
Thank you.